Hey, my friend Roger Niehaus from Auto Custom Carpet stops by here almost every year and lets us know what's new with Auto Custom Carpet and whatnot. We got to talking about the different styles of carpet, 80/20 versus nylon versus original, and also some changes happening in their product. And as I'm taking notes and thinking how I'm going to update my website and everything, I'm like, whoa, that's too much. So I thought, well, I'm lazy, let's face it. I thought, let's just do a little video and make him do all the work. So here we got an original 80/20.
Correct.
And we have a nylon blend, which I think we're going to quit carrying. He's going to explain why this is an inferior carpet, even though some people might think it's more correct for 69 and up. And then we got our reproduction here. So Roger, tell me the pros and cons, the differences between original, everything we were talking about earlier. Let's start with this original carpet here. Tell me what it was in the day.
Originally, carpet was woven out of what we call 80/20. And it was called 80/20 because 80% of the yarn was wood pulp or rayon, whichever you prefer, 20% nylon. Back in the 60s, nylon was too expensive. The OEs wouldn't pay to use it, but they put enough in it to give it a little bit of stability, a little bit of wearability, and a little bit of color fastness. Not a lot, but it did help. And this continued on until the different yarn companies developed less expensive yarns where the OEs could afford to go to it. Well, for some reason, and I have no idea when it happened, how it happened, but in our industry, everybody decided that, okay, they went to nylon carpet. Well, the two manufacturers of nylon carpet in the day for the aftermarket made a pure nylon carpet, which was 600 series, which is this product. This product is 100% nylon. It's about a 14 denier yarn, which is a fairly thin yarn. The issue with this carpet, to me, is the fact that if you take a look at it, and you take a look at it coming this way, you can see what I call cornrows. There are rows and rows and rows of yarn. If you look back at the original, it's very indiscriminate. You can't see those rows. Those rows don't show up. The yarn is bigger. And what the manufacturer did was developed after the original rayon became unavailable in the market because of the small amount of usage, basically just for restoration cars. It's not enough to keep a machine busy 24 hours a day the way the yarn companies need their machinery used. Our last 80/20 came from Spain about 8 years ago. So what was developed is this product, which is 100% nylon. It's called rayon.
Rayon?
Rayon.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a 1650 denier, which means it's really about a 33% heavier yarn, thicker. What they do is they buy the yarn, they send it out, they twist it, bring it back in, and tuft it. And if you look at it, it's very indiscriminate.
Yeah, you can't see any rows.
You don't see any of the lines.
It's a jigsaw puzzle.
And we've had carpets that we've gotten from customers that are 70, 71, 72, 73. They have this look. They do not have that look. They have the very indiscriminate, very puffed up looking yarn. And I think what happened was Ford evidently went to all nylon, and everybody said, oh, okay, we have all nylon. It's this nylon. Here it is. We have all nylon. Well, if that's what you wanted, all nylon, that's what you got. I don't like the look of it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people sell this. It's a good carpet in the fact that we warranty it the same as we do the other. It is 100% nylon, but it is a little thinner yarn. So you're going to get the same color fastness out of this. It's going to look pretty much original when you get it in the car. You don't quite get the view that you do when it's laid out on a table, but I believe, in my mind, if you want to really have a good, close to original, plush looking carpet, the rayon 80/20 is what we still call it, for old time's sake. But that is the carpet I personally would put in any car I was restoring.
Now, you were telling me about your latest product, Change. This is one of your older, a few months old. Tell me about the new change you got coming because of the quantities you're doing.
Well, our manufacturer is going to what they call a pre-dyed yarn. Normally, this carpet started life as white. It was white carpet. It's dyed to whatever color it's going to be from there. It could be red, green, blue, orange, black. The problem is, it is not quite, in my mind, the look of the old 80/20. It's a little shinier.
Yeah, and here this is a nice original piece out of a low-mile car, and this portion was under the seat. So that's as close to NOS as you're going to get.
Right.
And this has more of a matte finish to it. Right. And this has more, notice how this glistens a little bit, when the light catches it. Well, so you're saying your new product might not look exactly like this, but it's something in between these two, maybe?
They knocked a little bit of that shine out of it. But unfortunately, because of the requirements, 40,000 pounds per order of yarn. That's a lot of yarn. And so far, the black is the only color that uses enough that makes it for them to be able to use it economically.
So in black, you're getting the product change.
Right. It'll start changing in the next month, probably.
Well, by the time this video it comes out.
Right.
So
it'll take a little bit of time to get into the chain of supply. We still have inventory and so forth. So when it works its way through, it'll be.
What's the chances red or blue or any of the other colors?
Not good.
Not good. So don't even go there.
Right.
Okay, here's another thing. This carpet, 50 years old. Notice there's no, well, you can see the outline of the console. There's where the console was. This is the top of the tranny tunnel. I don't see a little bit, I don't see a lot of fade there.
No.
Now, if perchance this carpet is around in 50 years, I can guarantee this is going to have some spots that hit the sun that look kind of brownish and stuff. Is the new product, the color retention, any better in the black? And it's the black I mostly notice that loses its color retention.
The black should be better.
Should be better.
That is the current style yarn that they're using in the OEs today. And you don't quite see the fading in the newer carpet today that you did in the older.
Yeah.
But you go back into the 80s, Corvettes in the back where they had the big glass, they faded like crazy.
That's true. Now here's one more thing. When a customer comes up to me, he's got a low mile car and he's not sure if he's got original carpet or reproduction. I can tell by looking. But another way I can tell, feel how smooth that is. That just feels silky smooth. I go to this this original carpet here, and that has a wool feel. Tell me what I'm feeling there.
Well, the difference that you're feeling is the fact that's wood pulp.
There you go.
And it has a grain to it.
So I shouldn't be using the term feels like wool. I should say woody.
It is. It was made from wood pulp, basically. Rayon was a wood pulp product. It was a natural product. That's all they had. Rayon was popular. They even used it in tire banding and all those things. That's why those tires were terrible, because it was the same issues. It just didn't have the tensile strength that nylon does. And that's why they developed nylon, and rayon just kind of fell by the wayside.
Okay.
So nylon does have an issue. If they really wanted to make a carpet that was color fast, they would use Dacron. Dacron is UV resistant. Nylon is not. Nylon is susceptible to degradation from UV light, which is sunshine.
Well, these days, the cars have come to such a value that, unlike when I was selling this carpet in the 90s, they were still drivers and people would leave them out all summer.
Sure.
Well, now most people have enough invested in their Cougar or their Mustang that they aren't just leaving them out in the UV rays. So I'm not getting the complaints like I used to. Okay, Roger, let's talk about the backing here. Of course, this is not what we see on modern carpet. This kind of has a burlap feel here. To me, this seems like something that would retain moisture and odor more than a modern synthetic blend. Am I right there?
It will do that, and it also has another issue. This basically is a shredded burlap sack. And
Is that what they did? Did they recycle old field sacks?
They took burlap sacks, shredded them, and then tufted them into padding.
Just like the like I look at the upholstery out of a back seat, and you can see threads of red and green.
Sure.
Is that old T-shirts and work
No,
shirts just
well,
thrown in the shredder?
One of them is. But we'll get to that one next.
Okay,
but this one, they shredded burlap sacks, and they tufted it. Well, the problem was burlap sacks have linseed oil in them.
Ooh.
So as they were shredding this, there would be this huge cloud of linseed oil laden burlap in the atmosphere of the plant.
Well, that's the neighbor's problem.
Well, one spark, that plant would go off like a bomb.
Oh.
There were padding plants that burnt to the ground, and they would burn to the ground.
Wow.
These weren't just flash fires, they were burnt to the ground.
Wow.
And that's why they finally decided that, along with the fact that catalytic converters came along with that extreme heat, now you're putting linseed oil laden burlap on top of a 1500 degree catalytic converter. You got a real issue again with fire, etc. So what they did, they went to two different products, and it just depended on the manufacturer. This product here, if you look at it, has multiple colors in it, strands, all different thread, etc.
So there could be cotton in there. There could be rayon, nylon. That's
Could
just
be almost anything.
whatever
in
they
here.
threw in the shredder.
Right. And
Is this like a carpet from my home that gets recycled?
no, this is more the clothes you take down to Goodwill.
And what they don't bale and put on cargo ships to Africa, they shred.
They shred. And what they do is and if you feel this, it feels kind of stiff. They put a starch stiffener on it, and that makes it finish a little
Okay,
nicer.
starch.
So,
Starch
right.
is water. If I get water in my car, is that going to come
Nah,
apart?
But it's almost like latex paint. But this, if you notice, didn't transfer to this. That's because it's got the starch in it, and that kept all that lint from getting loose.
Right.
So this is called shoddy. This is called shoddy pad. There's still manufacturers today using this.
But
And
you've quit using this?
we used to, and we have quit using it. We've gone to this product.
Okay, tell me about this
Now,
product.
this product is 100% nylon.
Is it recycled material?
This is all recycled material. What they do is, when they're tufting carpet in the household carpet business,
And that looks like household
yarn.
carpet right there.
It's called broadloom. The broadloom business uses nylon carpet, and they take spools of yarn and they feed needles. There'll maybe be 300 needles across a needle bar, and each needle has its own spool of yarn. Well, when those spools get low, they have to stop and recycle because they don't want to run out. If that one spool runs out and the rest of them don't, you get a stripe down the carpet.
Ah,
So they cut them short, and they leave yarn on every spool.
and throw them in the bin.
So they throw them in the bin. Suppliers buy that as scrap, and they've developed a program where they absolutely cut that yarn off of those cardboard spools.
Right down the middle.
And send the spools back.
Oh.
And they recycle the spools, put
Nothing
yarn
gets
back on
wasted.
them again.
Ah.
But they take that yarn and shred it in shredding machines. And at the same time, they can add a fire retardant.
Oh.
And that's what this product has. It has a fire retardant in it.
Does this bond a little better to the carpet than say
This bond,
this
it
stuff?
doesn't pull apart so easy.
Yeah.
This delaminates where this doesn't.
So what you're saying is in 2016, your product is better in a couple of ways than it was in 2014-15.
Yeah.
But the price is still the same, I
Right.
noticed.
it's truthfully, this product here gives you a better finish. I think it looks better. It's more consistent in its look. You can control the thickness of this better also. This gets a little crazy where you can get thin and thick spots, where this is pretty consistent. But hopefully, you know, people will understand that, you know, what I feel is the look is what needs to happen in this product here.
Look and
the
longevity.
80/20.
Look and longevity.
Right.
This is a hard job. You got to take apart your whole interior to put this carpet in.
Right.
And to have to do it again in 5 years because you're getting pills and stuff coming up on the driver's side, and then pay shipping again, especially if you're
Right.
that poor guy in Australia. I
Now,
want to do it once.
This is definitely more bang to the buck. It's probably 30 to 40% more yarn in there, and more yarn means absolutely a better look and more wear, you know, better wear.
Well, I'm really glad you took the time with us today, because you know how we differ. Most websites and catalogs are going to say carpet, year, color, and you make your choice. Very few are going to have a how-to video on how to put it in, and 80/20 differences and all this. But for my customers, I have a lot of type A guys there. And you know you're type A because you're still watching this video. Who watches a freaking half-hour video about loops and carpet and about rags on the back? Anyway, my guys care about this stuff. So I appreciate you coming all the way from Alabama to make this little video and,
Not a problem.
and to tell us what's going on in 2016.
We like to educate the public also.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll even use this on your website.
That's right.
All right. Thank you.